everyone and welcome to my channel. It's lovely to be back for another episode. My name is Catherine and I live in Hertfordshire in the United Kingdom. Today is Monday. It's actually a bank holiday here in the UK, so I don't have to go to work, so I thought I'd catch up with you guys. So, what have I been up to? Well, a little bit of knitting, a little bit of crochet, going to work and trying to finish a few finished objects and having a little look at what I might cast on next. So let's share some things with you. Okay, first up, I have got a pair of finished socks. Sorry about the grumping going on. I've got a few cats in here and there's a couple that aren't that mad on each other, but they're okay. They're not gonna do anything, they're just grumping at each other. So I have made a pair of little shorty socks. So this yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners and I have used it previously. I used it for a pair of socks I made called the Oakworth socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, my favourite, and I had about 50 grams left over because they were actually quite short socks, so I thought I'd have a go at making some shorties. Now these are the shorty version of my pattern, the little block socks, and I think it's worked up beautifully in this yarn. The yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners and it's in the shade Autumn Leaves. You've got the block pattern which has come out really nicely, and I just did a few rows of rib, as you can see, before just going straight into the heel flap, so they were so quick to make. I used 20 grams of yarn on one sock and 19 grams on the other sock, and I have got 7 grams left. I don't know where the other blocker is, so we've got one on a blocker and one not on blocker. They haven't been blocked, but they've come out beautifully. I'm just going to go and look for the other blocker. Right, where were we? Second sock blocker. I promised to buy myself some pretty sock blockers. Never get round to it, so these will do for now. They are Knit Pro. I think they're plastic ones, but they do the job. So I decided to make them fraternal. They're not exactly matching. I didn't exactly know how much yarn I would have, so I think they've turned out really, really lovely with the different colours on them. If I'd gone to try and make them match, I might have had enough. I had 7 grams left, but I might have run out. So it was, you know, it was an interesting experiment, and actually I think they worked out really beautifully. So these are my little shorty socks, the little block sock pattern, which is available on Ravelry and on Lovecrafts, but I've just made them into shorty socks. If you're interested, I might just convert it into a shorty sock pattern. I'm not sure yet. So these are the little block socks is as shorty socks. I loved making these, really pleased with them. So they came off the needles really quickly. They didn't take long at all. It took me about a month because I just had done all of the second sock and just left it to do the grafting. I don't know why I left it so long. I think it was a toe and the grafting, and I finally got around to finishing them last night. So really pleased with these, the little block socks, shorty socks. Next up, I wanted to make myself a little sort of doily or something for my dressing table. I'm not that great a crocheter, so I had a little look through this book, which is an excellent book. This is a Dawn and Kindersley book, the complete step-by-step guide to crochet. It tells you how to do everything. They didn't actually have a pattern for a doily, but when I was flicking through it looking for something, I just wanted to make sort of a large coaster really that I can put on my bedside table, so that if I put a drink down, it doesn't make a stain. And when I was looking through it, I found a pattern for a pot holder, which I should have marked. I won't be able to find it now. It's quite near the beginning because it's one of the simpler techniques. Here it is. So here's a pot holder. Okay. And I thought, well, that one here would make a lovely doily, a lovely little sort of large coaster. So I followed the pattern. I just didn't make two and join them together. It specifies cotton yarn. I don't have any DK cotton yarn, so what I wanted to do was just use some tiny scraps that I had left. So this is what I made in one evening. I think it's come out really well. The yarn is Stylecraft Special. You've got a blue, which might be called cornflower, there's a yellow, there's a pink and a purple, and if you can see behind me, I'm sitting on my, just get up there, my Spicier Life blanket, which is made in the Bollywood colourway, which you can get, I think, on Black Sheep Wools. I'd have to check that, whether it's Black Sheep Wools or Wool Warehouse. It's one of the two that sells. It's definitely Black Sheep Wools, that's right, which is where I got it from. These are just leftover bits from that, and I think it's come out really nicely. Just needs a little bit of blocking. Maybe I might get some cotton and make some in the future. I think they're really nice, very simple to make. Needs blocking, but I think they will look lovely just on my bedside table, that I can put something down and not worry about getting a mark on the table, because it's acrylic, it will just go in the washing machine. So that is my little crochet doily. So I wanted to update you on my progress on the Coronation Cal. I haven't finished, which I'm okay about. I was doing really well. I bought the yarn pack, well actually my mum bought me the yarn pack from SIRDAR, and you're supposed to have all the quantities necessary. Now I am quite loose at crocheting anyway. I know I'm not a tight crocheter, so the pattern calls for a 4mm hook. So I decided to work the whole thing on a 3.5mm hook to make it a little bit tighter, and then when you do part of it you have to go down to a 3.5, so I went down to a 3. But let's show you what I've done. When I got to the beautiful purple, one side to go, and I ran out, and I was like, oh my god, I even went down a crochet hook. I was doing it on the 3.5, and I just didn't have enough of the yarn left. So I noticed on the Facebook make-along group for SIRDAR that a few people had the same problem, so it's not me. My mum didn't have the same problem, but she actually had to go up a hook size because she's been crocheting sort of a lot longer than me, and I'm getting a cat bopping the ends. I still haven't sewn the ends in, and she didn't run out. So a little bit of a panic station. Looked in Hobbycraft, they sell a purple by Hayfield bonus, but not the same purple, because I think the original purple was a purple, which they sell there, but I think some of the yarn packs they've run out, and you've got this colour which is called neon purple. Anyway, I looked on various different shops and couldn't find it, and I found a retailer in Lancashire called Delta Wools, and they had one in stock. It was a bit of a moment, and I was thinking, well, it probably might not match, it might match. I think acrylic yarn's normally very good. Anyway, I don't know if it's the same dye lot, but it's exactly the same colour. So it kind of put the project a little bit on hold, and haven't really picked it up so much. I have finished the purple now, and it's silly really now because I'm virtually there. So let's hold it up in its full glory for you to see. So last time we spoke, I think I was probably on this green bit here, I think. So since then, I've done the wave stitch again. I've done some lovely regal bobbles, which is supposed to look like the ermine. I've done the little jewels, which I'm really pleased with. That was quite fiddly at first, but once you got into the flow of it, it worked really well. So they're the crown jewels, and I love the colour. And then you've got this beautiful purple with the gold leaves. Now that was quite fiddly, a bit of head scratching. Watch the videos, talk to my mum, and I got there. But I'm so pleased with this. It's going to be amazing. It's quite a scratchy yarn, but apparently when you wash it, it becomes all soft, so we'll see. I didn't want to spend a fortune, so I just bought the recommended yarn as well. So the next thing to do is there's 4 corners, and I've done those corners. I think I have to do some white granny squares along the edge, and then I add the 4 white corners. There's a border, and then there is the emblems. Now I like the Tudor rose, so I'm thinking to make it a bit just more my taste. I think I might just put Tudor roses in the middle and on the corners. We'll see, but I'm really pleased with it. And look, I'm still behind on my ends. So naughty. You know when you feel like this is not recording? I'm going to stop the video and check. Okay, that was total paranoia. The camera was filming. It just wasn't making the weird autofocus noises that it was making last time. So I don't know if I've managed to change something in the settings. I don't know, because I noticed that on the video. I've decided to use my camera again. I thought the picture was actually better quality than my iPhone. The iPhone is not the newest one. Maybe if I had an up-to-date one, then maybe it would be good. But I think this is quite a good little camera. I might have to look at getting a microphone, how that works, because I think the sound quality isn't great either. But bear with me. I don't have a lot of money to invest in this hobby. So as long as I can make a little video that's watchable and we can chat, that makes me happy. So what's next? I have been working on my Everyday Sweater by ANDREA MOWRY. I started this last year, I think around December time. So it's not that old a whip. It's more of a winter jumper, but I just thought I can dig it out and work on it. I had a bit of a problem though. So when I pulled it out, it's just been in a bag, and this is an old stash yarn, which is by SIRDAR, and it's called MOWRY, and it's a wool. It's a wool, silk, and alpaca mix. I believe it's definitely got silk in, and I don't know whether a little cat had climbed the bag and put their claw in it, or whether a little moth had had a little munch, but I was horrified. There was a little hole in the sleeve, so I was like, I'm going to have to give up. I don't know what to do. So I kind of did a bit of I decided, go and don't be silly. I kind of did a bit of an unpicking job. I'm just trying to find the hole now. You can't even see where it was. So what I did was sort of unravel it in the round and knit it. But I was really stupid because I could have just unravelled this bit. But I seemed to like, because I'd only just started the armhole, I unravelled it all the way round, picked it all up, knitted it, and so the hole has virtually disappeared. So I'm quite happy with that, because when I first of all tried sewing it up, it looked absolutely awful. But I've made myself, in the doing, a little bit of a large hole over here instead. But it is under the armpit, so I think I'll probably just be able to tighten those threads in, sew it up, and it won't look so terrible. So here's the ball. Let me just check. My daughter is 20 this summer, and I bought this wool when she was about 8. She wanted a cardigan and then she rejected it. She didn't like the colour. So I'm just using some old yarn up, but it shouldn't. I can't see why it would get a hole in it. So it's wool, alpaca, silk, DK. Discontinued. Uses a 4mm hook. 72% wool, 25% alpaca, 3% silk. So I really don't know whether it was a little moth. But I didn't want all that work to go, to go down the pan really. So I think I'm quite pleased that I managed to rescue it. It might be a bit lumpy and bumpy there, but definitely better than the big hole. I was absolutely horrified. So this is one of the, it isn't the first, I've only made a few jumpers in the round. I did have one on originally today. I was wearing my mint tea sweater, which is made in Drops Bell? No, Drops, it's the thicker one, so not Drops Muscat, Drops Paris. And it's a nice cotton sweater, and it was quite nice for today because it's sunny but it's not that warm. But I put it on and it's a green shade, and it was getting wobbles on the camera, so I thought I'd just change back into a t-shirt. So that's why I'm not wearing anything, but this will be a winter jumper. So what I'm working on at the moment is the sleeves. Now I've done all the decreases, and I actually stopped. I should have decreased a bit more. I stopped at the larger size decrease because I think it will be snug enough. I've obviously not got skinny arms like Andrea. So this is the Everyday Sweater by ANDREA MOWRY. Been doing a little bit of work on that in the evenings as well. And I would like to crack on with some of these whips, get rid of them. The last thing I'm going to share with you is a blanket you've seen on the blog before. Oh my god, it hardly fits in this bag now. Oh my god, it's so massive. So this is my scraps. So I just need a few bits because I'm just on the border, and I've had a little think what to do with these brilliant, lovely colours. There's quite a big bit of the plum, and there's the green, and there's the gold. I've got some mink, I've got a whole ball of that for some reason, the grey, another ball of the cream, and I've seen a pattern. I'll insert a picture of it, and it's called something like New Gnome by Susan B. Anderson, who does really good toys. And I thought, you know, these are quite Christmassy, so I haven't got the pattern yet, but I'm thinking my leftovers might become gnomes. I did look at the Never Not Gnoming pattern first of all, but I think I like Susan's pattern more, so I'm going to go for that one and maybe make myself some Christmas gnomes. So that's a good way of using up leftovers as well. So this is a wool alpaca mix, and it's called Leader of the Pack. You saw this a long time ago on the podcast when I had hardly done any of it. So I think I maybe had done about up to here maybe. So this has been an ongoing project for a couple of years now. I think I started it 2 years ago, probably when I first started podcasting. I was definitely working in Hobbycraft, so I left Hobbycraft in January, and I worked there for a year and a half, so I think I probably, yeah, it's about 2 years ago. It's a lovely acrylic and alpaca mix, so you've got all the fluffy, but I'm presuming it will wash okay, but I think I will probably, all the work on this, I'll probably wash on a wool cycle. You can see I haven't sewn my ends in on that side, but on the other side, last night, I picked up all the stitches to do the border. So it's going to have, I think it has like 3 colours on the side. So we've got the border on that side. I've already got the border on the bottom, and then it's going to have little tassels. Quite nice when it's a cool evening to work on it, but I think it was a really good project for me. It's called the Mindful Blanket. It's a Hobbycraft own pattern. It's very fluffy. If you've never done colour work before, then obviously it's quite simple with this pattern. There's a chart and there's a written instructions. I worked from the chart, which I found was easier, and then you've just got this, I don't know what this is called, is it like strawberry stitch? I don't know, it looks like little strawberry pips to me. Very simple. I went down a needle size for all the colour work, no, went up a needle size for all the colour work. I think that's a good tip. I think it makes it, your tension even out a little bit, and obviously stretching the stitches. But I'm really, really pleased with this. So it's been a big project, but I think it's going to be so cosy in the winter. So hopefully next time that will definitely be finished. I've just got the ends to sew in. I hope you can see it all. The ends to sew in and the borders, and then there are some little tassels on the end which I'm not sure about. I think it might look quite good with tassels. It's harder to wash if it has tassels on it though, but we'll see. Hello baby, somebody's come to help me. So that is the Mindful Blanket, which is a Hobbycraft pattern. I bought the digital download, but I think you can buy it in store as well now. It's too big for the bag. So, ouch! This is Nymeria. I don't think you've met Nymeria before. She is one of my kittens that we bred ourselves, because we do have kittens occasionally, and she is staying. So you're a snow, aren't you? Snow lynx. You're absolutely beautiful. You love your mum, don't you? Good girl, down you go. Let's put this out the way. I do have to be careful how I store my projects. I thought it was a great idea to have my socks that I'm knitting in one of these really useful boxes. I thought they can't get into this, and they managed to get the lid open. There's no been more progress on the socks, but they like tangled them all up and cut the yarn, and I was like, oh my god, but luckily they're still intact. So those are my Stephen West socks. I need to crack on with those. Need to tidy this little box up. But yeah, I do have to be careful with my storage of, so that's on top of my wardrobe at the moment. If I open this cupboard, there's is where my wall lives. So this is my yarn storage. So you'd be a bit like, oh, it's not actually that bad, but I am trying to work through some of it because there is stuff that needs doing. So talking about storage, I was in Hobbycraft the other day and I purchased myself a couple of fat quarters, and I thought these were really pretty. In fact, let's open them up so we can have a little look. There's a blue one which I really like, it's got little birds on it. You've got a cream one which has just got the flowers on. I know fat quarters are a more expensive way of buying material, but if you just want a little bit for a bag and you get all your different colours, then it's very, very nice. We've got this pink one, and then this is another little blue one. I'm sure their packs used to have 5 fat quarters in. I've noticed they've gone up in price as well. So I think I like this one because it's a V&A one. So some of them are not as nice cotton. This says 100% organic cotton. So you have to be a little bit careful with some of their fat quarters. Having worked there, I know some of them seem to be nicer cotton than others. But this is a really lovely one. And I've got a zip, so that will go. I'm thinking to have my first bag that I'm going to make. I'm definitely going to make myself a little project bag with this for my socks. I'm going to have the cream as the lining and this one as the outside. And I got myself some interline. Oh, no, Mia, you need your claws clipping. I've got myself some interfacing because I didn't know if I had any, so that came quite quickly off eBay. I bought Vilene. Is it called Vilene? Because I know some are not very good quality, and I've used the Vilene before and I think that's the best. I think it's called Visaline, is it called? I don't know, I haven't opened it yet. It's in there. So a little project bag, that is a plan. I'm going to get my sewing machine out hopefully. I think that is all the projects to share with you. The only other purchase I've made is this book, which you might have seen or you might have heard of her. This is Charlotte Stone from Stone Knits. I've been eyeing up her socks for a very long time, and I decided to buy her Charming Colourwork Socks book because I figured it would have advice. Because the only other time I tried to make socks with colours in, I know what I did wrong now, because when I tried to put it on it was so tight, the heel was tight. I don't think it was from the Harry Potter book, Knitting Magic book, and I don't remember it telling you to go up a needle size. Definitely, I've watched Summer Lee as well, and she says to go up even 2 needle sizes for the colour work. When I made that sock, it wouldn't fit over my heel, and I think it's because the floats were so tight. So I think these patterns are on 2.25 for the rib and 2.5 for the sock, but you know, I'm thinking about maybe trying a 2.75, we'll see. But this is a beautiful pattern book. I'm just going to share with you a couple of my favourite ones. Hi darling. So I love this one, which is the grapes, really beautiful. I love these with the cherries as well, absolutely gorgeous. The forget-me-not socks, they're very, very special. I would like to make those. And because I want to use stash, I have got yarn in stash, so when I cast on my next pair of socks, I'm going to make these ones, which are called the I Heart socks. Absolutely beautiful. So the camera cut off, so I had to put a new memory card in, and I carried on filming, and then there's nothing there. So I've just downloaded the files onto my iPad and carrying on where I left off, hopefully. So I was just saying that she's got some really gorgeous sock patterns. I've followed her patterns on Ravelry. I think I follow her Instagram. There's one called Herding Cats that I really, really like. It's on my queue. I think that would be a great use of like leftover. If you had a contrasting yarn and then just your leftovers to make the cats. And I know there's some ones with sunflowers on that I really like as well. But I thought the book was a really good buy because I thought it was about, I don't know, there's loads of patterns in here. There must be about 20 patterns. In fact, there's a picture of all the socks. Those are all the ones you can make. And there's a little picture of them, the washing line. So I thought I'd support her and buy the book, and also she's got some tips in here about how to do colour work as well. So I'm going to start with those ones, because although they are a little bit, I don't think they're that complicated, although there's a lot of colour work in them. I think it's quite a simple pattern, so I'd like to start with those. And also I wanted something that I could make from stash. So this is yarn I got with Christmas money, and I think these two colours will be beautiful. So I'm going to take him out for a walk in a minute. He's been quiet all the time I've been doing this. Somebody must be outside maybe. So we've got the cream colour. They don't have shade names, but I would say it's like a milky creamy colour, colour 100. And then you've got this lovely vivid pink colour 102. So I think they will be absolutely gorgeous. I do have a couple of colours left. So maybe if I get some more contrasting colours, I might have something for some of the other socks here. But yeah, those are the two. I like Drops Fable. It's very hard wearing. It is super wash, so it goes in the machine, and it's inexpensive as well, which is good. So yeah, Charming Colourwork Socks. So it's a beautiful book. So that is everything to share with you today. I've got quite a lot that I've been getting on with, and I hopefully will have some more things to show you in a few weeks' time. It's lovely to be here. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've enjoyed it, or you've got anything you want to ask me, or any comments, just leave me a little comment below and I will reply to you. And hopefully I will see you soon in the next video. Bye!